Welcome to the Tiffany Micah podcast. What we do here is build the strength and courage in you to accomplish your big dreams and goals in your sport. No longer will you feel limited. You won't feel you're not good enough. You won't question whether you will make it. Those doubts will disappear because you will have the competitive edge over your opponents and leave them in your wake. And the bonus is others will notice. Listen up and take notes because I will show you exactly how to do it. Hey there, Tiff here, and welcome to the Tiffany Micah podcast. End of another week, isn't it? Lessons learned for the week. What are we going to talk about today? Well, this quote, it's not the destination, it's the journey. This quote used to really get under my skin. And the reason for that was because I wanted so desperately to be at the destination. I so desperately wanted to be successful. And I felt that I had never reached my destination, my first destination. My first destination was to be on the tennis circuit, competing around the world, living the dream, being the number one tennis player, having, getting sponsorships, having the house that I always wanted to have, looking after my parents and, having a wonderful lifestyle. And because I didn't reach that destination, I considered myself as a failure. And I really kept that attitude of being a failure really up until the age of around about 35, pretty much. So you look at it from when I gave up tennis at the age of 20 and gave up on me, never made that, never accomplished that destination I was always wanting to accomplish from the age of 7. You could, and then from the age of 20 up until the age of 35, and I kept going with that attitude that I was a failure for the next 15 years. And you combine that 15 years of feeling like a failure with no belief, giving up on me. It's a real lethal mix. And until that point, from the age of 20 to 35, it was a lethal mix. And I will tell you why. I never got involved with drugs or alcohol. I'm not into that sort of stuff, which is a great thing. But the bad thing was I got into relationships with men who treated me like crap. They were emotionally controlling. I ended up getting involved with a man much, much older than me. Because I thought that I couldn't attract anyone because I thought I was ugly and something was wrong with me. And I just didn't think anyone would have been interested in me. So I took up with whoever came along, which happened to be this guy. And you know what? I thought it was okay because I didn't have any respect for me anyway. And I used to tell myself all the time what a failure I was. So by me being involved with this man who treated me like crap, who's emotionally controlling, I thought, well, it's okay for him to treat me this way because I treat myself like that anyway. And I look back at that time and, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking that I felt so poorly of myself. It's heartbreaking I felt so much like a failure. It's heartbreaking that I wasted my time with this person because I wasted many years with this person. But on the exterior, if you looked at me, you would have thought that I had it together. You would have thought that I had it in control. Hey, why wouldn't I? Had reasonably accomplished something. I'd had a go at becoming a professional tennis player. I'd had a university degree. I had a very successful tennis coaching and sports skills business. So on the exterior, I looked like I had it all together. But in the interior, on the inside, I was an absolute mess. I thought I was a fraud, and I thought I had everyone fooled. And it was not a great way to live your whole 20s and part of your 30s. So if you're hearing me now and you're 16, 17, 18, don't waste your 20s. Don't get caught up in all that crap. Live it. Enjoy it. Work on you. Get you right. Be comfortable in your own skin. Because all of that happened to me in that time was about the disappointment, the failure, the devastation of a decision, a lifelong decision up until that point that it was going to be my life. I had given up on. And then I thought, because I thought so poorly of myself, it didn't matter. I'd just take whoever came along and gave me some attention. I was craving and longing for attention because I was so sad on the inside. So I don't want you to end up that way. This is why I share these stories, because I don't want you to end up that way. I don't want you to waste your time. I want you to be confident. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to be able to crush it at any moment. And I want you to go after your dreams. But I'm not finished yet. So by the age of around probably closer to 35, I was sitting near the beach with a good friend of mine. And he really got me. I was really good friends with his wife. And we're just sitting out on the beach there. And I said, Russell, my life's just not working. And I really don't want to live my life like this. It's killing me. On the inside, I know I'm searching for the answers. I feel like I'm searching for the answers, but I just don't know what they are. And what happens with people in general is like we only make changes when we're at breaking point, when something's incredibly painful. It's like, bang, it's a trigger. Because when you tend to be quite comfortable, you tend not to make changes. You tend to just coast along. So I was at this point. I was at this breaking point. And this is really where I began my personal development journey, and I started reading books, and I really started to learn about me, who I was. And the first book that I read was the classic Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And many people have read this book, and if you haven't read it, read it. It was written in 1920, I think. But it may, when you read it may sound a bit dated and so on, but look for the messages that Napoleon's giving you in it. So what happened is that it opened my eyes, and I was like, oh, if I thought differently, I could change things in my life. And I remember in that time too, I was listening to Jim Rohn. He was the mentor for Tony Robbins. And he would say, for things to change, you have to change. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So I felt up until that time, up until the age of 35, I was living in a fog, because I don't want you to live in a fog. I want you to get it together now. And I never shared my innermost thoughts, and I hid everything from the world. I hid everything from everyone because I was so unhappy. My mum knew I was unhappy. She just didn't. She really struggled to understand. And, in that time, I was living with my parents because I moved back with my parents because things were just not working the way that I wanted them to. And I was sitting at the table with my mum and my dad, and my dad was, he was crying. He was upset for me. And he said, can you help us understand? What's going on? I said, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. He said, we want to help you. I said, I know you want to help me. I just don't understand. And Mum's like, well, we don't understand you. I said, you don't understand me. I don't understand me either. That was a really tough time. But it was supposed to happen. It was a very painful time but it was supposed to happen, because remember what I just said earlier, I was searching for the answers. So I'm not saying that once that at that point, and I had this conversation with my parents, it was all rosy after that. It wasn't. It was still a bumpy journey. But the key point I want to get to you here is I was becoming more aware. I was never aware. Just going through the motions, living in a fog. So as I was developing and changing myself and learning more about me and what held me back, and why I was so unhappy, and why I felt and I treated myself so poorly and like a failure. I used to give myself, the attitude was I'd give myself 50 lashes before I left the home that day. Giving myself such a hard time. And I kept hearing along the way this quote, "It's not the destination, it's the journey." And I was like, oh God, this gets under my skin so much, because I really didn't feel what it meant. I got what it meant intellectually, but I really didn't feel it. And I wasn't really aware of what it truly meant, like on a really deep level. And so those people who kept saying it, personal development leaders that kept saying it, people that I followed, read their books, attended their courses, they got it. They got it deep because they had been on the same path. It was just that they were quite a few steps ahead of me. And it wasn't until recently I heard that quote again. It was only like this year, which I haven't heard it for quite some time, for years now actually. But it actually hit me deep, and I'll tell you how it hit me. So I'm coming up to a big birthday this year, big number. I still think I'm 20, so don't worry. And I was talking to my hubby about what I'm doing to build the Reach Your Potential with Tiff and Get Focused Academy, and how I want to help you become the athlete that you want to become. And, I'm incredibly excited about the path that I'm taking, because I've wanted to do this for so long. And which, by the way, my husband, with regards to me, with building an online business, he's old school. So he's like, you don't work from home. You go out to a workplace and you earn your money and you come home. So he doesn't really get the online side of things of what I'm doing. And he feels much more comfortable when I actually go out and teach golf, because I'm going somewhere. Because he gets that, he understands that. But anyway, I was saying to him that, though, even though I'm not showing everything up on the scoreboard yet, I'm not reaching the heights I want to reach yet, from a business point of view and financially, from what I want to actually accomplish yet, I've learned so many valuable skills along my journey. And that's when that quote really hit me deep. I got it then. It's not the destination, it's the journey. The journey is the skills, the valuable skills that you will learn along the way, because the destination will keep changing. So when you reach a destination, which is your, goal achievement, you've achieved your goal, you'll be then looking for the next destination, the next goal to achieve. And then you'll have a whole new lot of new skills to learn to get to that next destination, so that you can achieve that next goal. Sounds quite simple, doesn't it? That's why I always keep things really simple, because it's much easier to learn that way. So what I want you to be thinking about is that the journey is the valuable skills that you're going to be learning along the way. So what you're doing now, you're learning such incredible skills. Keep learning them, because they're going to help you get to the destination where you want to go. If those skills don't help you, you have to keep finding new skills to help you get there. So what's the lesson that I want you to learn from today? Well, the first lesson that I want you to learn is be aware. Do not live in a fog. and just go through the motions. If things are not working, find out why. The second lesson I want you to learn is to be open to learning as many skills as you can along the way, because it will help create you into the person that you want to become. So I hope you enjoyed the lessons learned for today. I felt like I really needed to share this one with you because I want you to get it. I want you to accomplish your sports dream. I want you to accomplish everything that you want in your life. And that's why I wanted to share this message with you today. So have you got a copy of my book, Focus, How to Reach Your Potential in Sport, Business and Life yet? If you haven't, go to www.tiffanymica.com/free book. The book is free. The only thing that I'll ask of you is if you can just pay for the shipping. If you'd love me to sign it for you, I'd love to do that too. I really would love to sign the book for you. The book itself is really about you reaching your potential. It's lessons that I've learned along the way. It's the lessons that sport has taught me on how to reach your potential. So make sure you get a copy, okay? So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Love it if you could share with me what you like best about what you heard. If you've got friends that you know that would benefit from these episodes, I'd love it too if you could share these episodes with your friends, because we want to build the successful athlete community as big as we possibly can. Okay, we're going to crush it when we compete, aren't we? Because that's the way we're going to do it. So I want you to dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams, have an absolutely awesome day. Take care. Talk soon. Don't go anywhere. Just hang on. Don't go anywhere. Let's crush it when we compete. Come on. Have you signed up yet for the Successful Athlete Masterclass? We look at what's holding you back, what skills you will need to succeed, and how to accomplish your sports goals. Go to tiffanymica.com/Sam. Look forward to seeing you there. Dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams. Let's crush it when you compete.